Wang Yi's comments on the DPRK were made at a joint news conference with his German counterpart Sigmar Gabriel following talks on security and foreign relations. The Chinese foreign minister's next destination will be New York, where he will meet with UN ambassadors on issues related to the North Korean Peninsula. Now to the United States, where all 100 members of the Senate have been briefed by top U.S. officials on the country's strategy against the Democratic People's Republic of Korea. The high-profile briefing at the White House came amid escalating tensions on the Korean Peninsula. While administration officials often travel to the capital to brief lawmakers on national security issues, it's rare for the entire Senate to visit the White House. Our correspondent Jessica Stone gives more details on the briefing.
A senior administration official who briefed reporters on Wednesday afternoon said that the members of Congress who are getting these DPRK briefings from the White House are getting a list of options, which include putting the DPRK on a state sponsor of terrorism list. In the meantime, the overall strategy seems to be, according to this official, that they are using additional U.S. and allied military pressure on Pyongyang to buy them more time to implement economic pressures with the help of Beijing. And that includes a lot of the sanctions that are being talked about at the United Nations, as well as cutting off energy supplies to Pyongyang. Now, that strategy is something that the lawmakers in this country and, frankly, diplomats around the world have been crying out to hear more details on, and that so far this White House has been pretty circumspect on the details. Many of the lawmakers coming to these briefings have had a lot of confusion and a lot of questions about the nature of the strategy that is unfolding from this White House. They do, of course, know about the role that China is playing, given the comments from President Trump and President Xi Jinping of China out of Mar-a-Lago and since, and the cooperation and phone calls that have taken place, but they still don't know the nature of that cooperation, nor how much pressure Beijing can truly bring to bear on Pyongyang. But what they do know and what they keep hearing is a greater amount of concern from analysts and military officials alike that Pyongyang is closer than ever to getting a nuclear weapon. Take a listen.
With every test, Kim Jong-un moves closer to his stated goal of a preemptive nuclear strike capability against American cities, and he's not afraid to fail in public. Defending our homeland is my top priority, so I must assume that the Kim Jong-un's nuclear claims are true.
Now, the goal here for this White House is to brief all members of Congress about the concerns that they have about the DPRK, and in the event that the U.S. president decides to launch any type of military action which requires congressional authorization, he is trying to build a coalition, not just of members of Congress, but also at the United Nations for additional pressure to be brought to bear on Pyongyang. Jessica Stone, CGTN, Washington.